The Manhattan City Commission discussed funding strategies for wastewater treatment plant upgrades at last night's work session. The city's planning to use a low-interest loan through the Kansas Water Pollution Control Revolving Fund. Commissioners expressed support for the city's idea to work with Kansas State University on a project funding opportunity to get grant money from the federal government. Mayor Wynn Butler.
And I think this is pretty proactive to try to go after this grant because it'll put us ahead of the game if we get surprises from the federal government on changes.
City officials also said they believe the improvements to the treatment plant could help turn Manhattan into a center for technology. Commissioner Karen McCullough.
Well, I think it's fantastic. Go for it.
Okay.
I'm not sure the chamber is going to be thrilled if we're the solid waste capital.
Improvements to the plant would make wastewater treatment more efficient and help reduce greenhouse gas. The project initially was estimated at around $12 million, but now slated to cost closer to $18 million. The project is slated to begin construction in January. A California man accused in 2 separate shooting incidents near Aggieville will see his cases proceed to a bench trial later this year. Travell Hairston is charged in Riley County District Court with attempted first-degree murder stemming from a February 2020 incident in the 1100 block of Laramie. He's additionally charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault stemming from a September 2019 house party shooting in the 1300 block of Fremont. The 2 cases were previously consolidated. Hairston was scheduled to go to trial last summer, but instead entered into a plea agreement, which he then later withdrew. At a motions hearing Tuesday, Judge John Bosch denied Hairston's most recent motion to set aside a waiver of a jury trial, stating in court that he believed Hairston had been abusing the system. He scheduled a 3-day setting for the bench trial to begin on May 29th. Hairston additionally has 3 other pending cases: a 2023 aggravated battery charge, a 2021 domestic battery charge, and a 2020 drug distribution charge. All 3 of those cases are now scheduled for an April 29th status hearing. Hairston remains jailed on a bond of over $1 million. Residents of the Valleywood subdivision say poor planning and lack of oversight have led to serious drainage problems in the neighborhood north of Manhattan along Barnes Road. Resident Larry Kale Monday brought a petition from 74 property owners to the Riley County Commission requesting that the county halt construction and building permits for the neighborhood until an engineer completes an assessment of the water drainage. Kale says drainage has been a problem in the area for 40 years, but has gotten worse as more houses have been built.
The planning for this is non-existent. The lots were raised 3.5 to 4 foot, tied into the dike, which is bringing the water into the community. Where it used to run down the dike and around the community, those lots have been raised and the water's been dispersed and rerouted.
Kale says attorneys he's spoken with say that rerouting water is against Kansas law. The drainage system that would send water around the community to the sewer isn't working, according to Kale, who says water's just running onto the other properties. County Clerk Rich Vargo agreed that drainage is a long-term problem in Valleywood and says it would be very expensive and difficult to fix it entirely.
It's a huge undertaking.
With that, why would we allow 22 new homes to be built to add to the problem? The fact that that is allowed stinks.
Commissioners agreed to get more information and discuss the issue again in the future. A Junction City man is jailed in Riley County on several drug-related offenses. The Riley County Police Department says 30-year-old Joseph Keene was arrested in the 1400 block of Beechwood Terrace Monday afternoon on 6 probable cause offenses, including 5 counts involving possession or distribution and a criminal weapons charge. Bond is set at $25,000. Online court records also show that Keene has past convictions for aggravated assault and theft dating back to 2018. A Kansas State University engineer was recently awarded $500,000 to prepare Kansas farmers for future climate issues. The university said in a release Tuesday that Vaishali Sharda, an assistant professor in the Carl and Melinda Hellwig Department of Biological and Agricultural Engineering, has received the National Science Foundation Early Career Development Program Award. The researcher is aiming to ensure sustainability of water resources in crop production by creating a tool that can generate future climate scenarios and allow producers to gain knowledge and insight for best practices. The Kansas Special Olympics basketball and cheerleading tournament is going to be held this weekend at the Anthony and Eisenhower Recreation Centers. Visit Manhattan Executive Director Marcia Roselle says the annual tournament will be held both Friday and Saturday.
And everything starts Friday morning at Anthony, so the public can come out. It's free. There's no gate fee to get in. They'll do cheerleading first in the morning, and they've got judges there, and just it's a fun atmosphere there.
Volunteers are still needed for this weekend's events.
if you like to come help out. We need some scorekeepers there. If you get on the Kansas Special Olympics website, you can see the list that's the times that we'll need on Friday and Saturday. So
It's the second year in a row that the Special Olympics Kansas has chosen Manhattan as its host site for the tournament.
Good morning, I'm Troy Coverdale with your sports headlines. The Kansas State men's basketball team opening the postseason tonight against a Texas team it faced only once this season as the Big 12 basketball tournament begins in earnest today.
I want them to feel the wall, right? I want them to feel the wall there on their back and that it's on the line and because that's when they bring their best.
Jerome Tang's Wildcats, the 10th seed going into the 6 o'clock tip-off, having captured their final win of the regular season Saturday with an upset of then 6th-ranked Iowa State. The Cats continue to hover along the NCAA tournament bubble. They'll open the conference tournament tonight as the first game of the night session. Coverage begins at 5 on News Radio KMAN and 101.5 K-Rock. The all-tournament team for the women's side included K-State's Aoka Lee, the 5th Wildcat all-time to be named to the squad, and the first since 2005. Madison Booker scored 26 points. Aaliyah Moore added 14 as Texas won the title overwhelmingly, besting Iowa State 70-53. The Big 12 men's and women's basketball tournaments will be remaining at T-Mobile Center through 2031. Commissioner Brett Yormark making that announcement yesterday ahead of the women's title game. It marked the first time the women's tournament had been played at the larger facility after years at Municipal. The conference will also be moving its soccer championship to the new CPKC Stadium, the soon-to-be open home for the KC Current of the NWSL. That's a 2-year deal that will start next fall. The K-State baseball team back on the diamond this afternoon. A non-conference tilt against South Dakota State gets underway at 3 o'clock. Coverage on News Radio KMAN will get underway at 2:30. Have a great day. I'm Troy Coverdale.